clamping down the Mr. Bryan's sheath, taking it out of its bag, and as you can see I've just tried to clean my hands a bit. I've just got the fire going. I'll tell you what, this knife making, I mean, my hands are always real tough anyway because of the leather, but this, I mean, it gets ingrained into your hands, and I find it really difficult to get out, even with a brush and stuff like that. I mean, my hands, my thumbs especially, that skin, you know, it really does, really, these are all sores, really wrecks your hands. It looks terrible, but this is glue from yesterday. That I've just, you know, I've scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and it's CA and it's struggling to come off. Anyway, right, first process today now is we'll be beveling round the edges. Now this is quite difficult for me to explain, as in, I've also added a couple of little small acorns in, just quick. Anyway, and added a couple more branches and stuff, and you know, it's just, this is me just doing a bit more than I need to, as always. These are the type of bevelers that I use, and these are classed as backgrounders, and there's lots of different types and all this, and this is what they call, I think, a pedal lifter, which I use to raise certain things and to bring it out a bit more and stuff. Now as for this beveling and shading, it's a bit like drawing, really. It's hard for me to say, well, choose this line, choose that line, because your product and your artwork or whatever you're doing, especially if you draw your own, you will have to choose where you want this particular shading to be. But what I would recommend is going around all the outside lines first, and then you sort of choose areas like that you want to tap a little bit darker and a little bit less to sort of bring it all out. I hope this makes sense. Right, so mainly today I'll be using all of them at some point, and what background I'm going to choose for this I don't know yet. I can either go for this, which gives you loads of little like circles. What I probably will use is this little one, which gives like a checkered effect, and it real pushes it down, and so then lifts the leaves out. I like these kind of little triangle bevelers as well, which are nice for getting in like these points here, which real sink in deep then and brings them branches out. Okay, so put them backgrounders away a minute, just over there. And see, I use different bevelers for the leaves, and different ones for the outside. You can use a smooth one if you want for your shading on the edges, or you can use like a checkered one. I favour the checkered one, but this is all, there's no right or wrong beveler or right way or wrong way of doing this. This is all down to how you yourself want it to look. As I always say, get a bit of scrap, try drawing a few lines and try beveling them lines in and see which one you like the most. We're going to have the same problem again today, aren't we? So what I'm going to do, if I can now, because I've got stuff everywhere, is I'll try and move you again, okay? Hi guys, it's just another quick one. I thought I had another one of these. In an ideal world, I use this for getting in like the triangles kind of places. Okay, it's like, you know, it's beveled, and I use it for getting into these areas here, and what it does is it depresses it in and then really brings them out. In an ideal world, you'd have one of these in all the different sizes to fit, you know, the different crevices and stuff that you were tooling. But like with anything, these tools are definitely not cheap by any stretch. As in, them, you know, they might not be, you know, you're probably looking at £7 or £8 a piece or something, or, you know, but you need an awful lot of them. And, you know, I've tooled quite a bit, but I haven't got a massive selection, but at all. You know, and I've just made do, and I adapt. I use the tools that I have got to, you know, what I would love is, you know, a big thing like that, but absolutely chocker with them. But as with always, it's time and expense, and you know, what I'll do is every now and again I'll buy a couple more. I went with a good mate, John, Mr. Wellings, and we went to, there was a place that was doing like a leather sale, and I was hoping, I took some money with me, and I was hoping to pick up another 10 or 15 tools from there that day. But when we got there, they had no tools for sale at all, and I couldn't pick none up. And normally when you go to them kind of things, they do like you a bit of a deal if you're buying, you know, 5, 6 or something like that. They don't give them you know, but they'll knock the price down. They'll knock a couple of quid off or something, or maybe 50p off each tool. So I was hoping to expand my collection a little bit more, but when we got there they had none for sale, which was really disappointed, and it done me head in. But never mind anyway. So when you're doing these projects, I recommend maybe, but it's hard to say which ones to get, but stuff like this, if you've got these in, you know, they do come in like bigger, smaller, small and small again. It does help when you're getting in these really tight places. You don't have to rock the tool as much, you know, or sort of make do. It does help, if definitely with tooling, if you've got the right bevelers and the right tools for the job. Don't get me wrong, if you go into a certain style of carving, like maybe Sheridan style carving, then you would buy your tools for that particular way of particular patterns, and there's certain tools that suit that particular type of carving and patterns more than others. Obviously if you like the Oakleys like me and stuff like that, and roses and stuff, then you try and buy what you can for that. So, but that does depress in, and it does help. As you can see, every little dot on here and everything is all tooled in by hand. I hope you can see it's really time consuming. Every line round this I have to bevel in. I'll just maybe just let you while I'm here. I'll just show you a little bit more while I'm doing it. You have to pick which side of the line as well you want to, you know, accentuate in between these branches. You could tool from that side or that side, but it depends how you want them branches to be splayed, and I want this one to be down more that way, so I'm going to tool that side. Okay, so that's veered that branch off a bit now. What I'll do now is, if we don't go out of frame again, let's just bring you out a bit more, I think. What I'll do then is, what was I doing? Oh yeah, we'll tool that in there just a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll carry. I'll do a little bit more while I'm here, just to show you sort of how you walk the tool. But it's hard for me to keep you in close, because obviously you have to move stuff around so much. Well, I do anyway. When I can't just keep it straight and tool from there. I just can't do that. I have to move it. Keep moving the pattern, the piece, sorry. I hope you can hear that sort of, the drumming, and I hope you can see I'll use my little finger as a, see, can you see that motion? It reminds me of a tattoo gun. Okay, and then we'll come down here. We'll go to our little triangle again here. It's just about the right size for this sort of. We'll get one in there. And it's a bit too big for that. Excuse me. Pigeons are fighting in the garden. If they're lucky, if one of them loses, he'll be in my pot. Okay, and we'll do that little piece there. And a little bit there. Little bit there. Okay, we'll carry on beveling now. Can bevel that inside. And this inside. Okay. Continue that one right down. And that'll separate them branches then. Okay. Right, we'll continue all round here and then I'll start filling it in and you can watch me how I start to fill the background in. I'll bring you back in a minute, guys. Hi guys, thought I'd bring you, just going to pop a little bit of water on. It doesn't need much, but thought I'd bring you, okay, show you that it's starting to take shape now. As you can see, I've tooled in. You can see there now. You can actually see where I've started to lift the petals slightly underneath. Gives you a lot more 3D effect than there where I've done it. And what that'll give you is, it just gives more shape, and you know, you can actually see that the leaf is, you know, I don't know the words to describe it. I just know what I mean. You know, it's so that the leaf, it just looks more, you know, like when they're a bit ruffled. You know, so we've gone from that to that, and there's still a lot of work to do really with this yet. I'm going to let you watch me do a bit of this backgrounding. I'll just do a little bit while I'm here. Sort of try and keep bringing you back little bit by little bit. You know, the key to this is even pressure, because what you want really is you want all this to be lying at roughly the same depth really, so that it's not so cratery if possible. You know, you want it just like an even mat. That's the only way I can describe it. It doesn't matter if you can't get it like that. It comes with practice. Please don't, you know, it's fine. And if you see the tool mark and it's not as even as that matting, it just takes a lot of practice. But that's the sort of thing you want to be aiming for, really. Let's see if I can get this bit in. What I tend to do, it doesn't matter how long it takes you as well, like before when I've done the little bit on the tooling, it's not about speed, it's about achieving that look you want. This is a bit too damp really for this, but it's okay. It just helps it slide a bit better, that's all. Right, and then we'll fill that bit in. Okay, I'll have to wrap up soon. Shopping day. At this time of the year, I absolutely dread it. I hate shopping, full stop. But at this time of year, obviously with Christmas, it's just crazy. I can hear my dogs barking. My belts have just landed, which I am so happy about, because I had a feeling that I weren't going to get them this side of Christmas, and I really need them to complete these knife orders. So I won't be able to do any with the knife stuff tonight, I don't think. Mr. Toten, if you do watch this one, if I get a chance to put this up, I've had another go with your brass scales. It just got to me, and I don't want to fail really. On that particular day I'd had enough, but I'm going to go one more for you, and hopefully I'm hoping that is the missus and not the postman. So I'm going to cut you off and I'll bring you back. It was the missus. Okay, start filling in this bigger section now. I hope you can get some idea how time consuming this type of thing is. It's, you know, it's took me the best part of the day, this has really. So look, I've got a couple of iPad cases to do after Christmas. Now these customers, great, no problem, I think they understand, but I'm glad when people who do inquire about stuff like that, and I give them a quote for this type of work, I hope after watching this they realise why these items, not just from me, in general, when you've got a big pattern to be tooled on, people ask so much for it. It's not just the materials, it's because obviously how time consuming this is. Obviously some people can probably tool a little bit quicker, but no matter how, you know, even if you're the fastest tooler in the world, this is not something that can be rushed, and it's definitely not something that can be done quick. So I'm going more in real time here for you, just so that you can I hope it's all staying in frame, because I can't really lift my head up to have a look when I'm going around these tighter places here, because it's only going to take one tap, and then, you know, I could tap in the wrong place and push down part of the petal or something that I don't want pushing down. And the only way for me, another way for me to describe this, it's like squishing down dough, if you will, or maybe clay, and what you're trying to do is push the leather away when you're compressing it. I suppose you just got to do it really. But the most important thing of all, I keep saying, is that even pressure, like the even tap and then you'll get a nice even matting. And do that thing with your finger like a tattoo gun, and you should be fine. What you can do is sort of roughly go over it and then sit back for a couple of minutes, have a good look, and then just start working on little areas you might not be happy with, or and there is certain ways of doing things first. Like if you're going to lift these petals, I recommend, for me anyway, it could be the wrong way around, lift the petal first and then tool after. I've done it both ways around, and I find that lifting the petal first, if you're going to do that or have a go at that, for anybody who's just starting that, I wouldn't recommend doing that until you've been tooling for a little bit, and then go over and then tool into it after. Okay, so there's a little tiny section in there that I need to get into. Whoop. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're getting there. Once I've matted it all back, then I'll start putting my little finishing touches on the leaves, make them a bit more rustic with a swivel knife, and it's about dyeing it then, and I'll distress it probably a bit, and that's it then. Right, so hope you're okay, bud. I am thinking of you, mate. I know today's not going to be a good day for you at all. You'll know what I mean. But I have thought about you a lot today, mate. You might be at home now or wherever. But I hope he could have gone as good as he possibly could go under the circumstances, mate. So yeah, I think we'll tool that out as well. Okay. Okay. Maybe if I just tool that in just a slight bit there. That's it, bring that in. I'll have a bit of flowing line. Okay. Yeah, great. Alright, sweetheart. Okay. Guys, I'm going to carry on for a bit. Like I say, it's dreaded shopping, so okay, bye for now, Lee.